In 2020, Microsoft Flight Simulator gave us the world. In 2024, Microsoft Flight Simulator is letting us live in it. And man, oh man, I cannot wait to live there. 5 years ago, I was at the preview event for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and I left in total disbelief of what I'd seen. And the final 10 out of 10 version did not disappoint. Fast forward to today, and I was having a hard time imagining what a new version could add that would bring the same sense of awe that I had the first time I experienced the world at my fingertips. Well, my friends, after my first time playing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I am honestly more excited for the upcoming entry into the series than I was after my initial hands-on with the Flight Sim 2020 back in 2019.
I'm sure you will get your PPL in no time.
So career mode is easily the biggest addition to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and Asobo, the team behind Microsoft Flight Simulator, will tell you it's the defining feature of the upcoming sim. I kind of think they're selling themselves a little bit short, but it is absolutely the biggest new addition to the Flight Simulator formula. First and foremost, it's much more open than I had anticipated. There's no pinned coordinate on the map to start your journey. You build your avatar and start at any airport in the entire world. You meet your mentor and take off on a familiarization flight, and from there you progress from a rank amateur, like me, to an aviation mogul, if that's what you feel like. The interface in career mode is familiar to anyone who's been gaming for any period of time. It looks kind of like the traditional skill tree you might find in a Spider-Man game, for example, but it tracks your aviation certifications. Eventually, you can earn enough money through career mode to start your own aviation business, if you like. If you'd rather gamify the sim experience without pouring yourself into career mode, there's a new ranked challenge league. Challenges aren't new to Flight Sim, but the competitiveness has been taken up with rankings and a constantly rotating assortment of new challenges each week. I tried the FA-18 Hornet race through the Grand Canyon during my hands-on with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and what I really loved about it was how the flight model in challenge mode remains the same as it is in the rest of the sim. So, in other words, it's not an arcadey sim-like. You have to complete the challenges given all the aerodynamics, handling, and physics found in the greater sim. Everything is true to life. It was a lot of fun, and damn it if I can't wait to race in the final game with my Thrustmaster flight stick and throttle. The standard version of Microsoft Flight Simulator will have 38 new aircraft, including one of my all-time favorites, the A-10 Warthog. I took some time to fly one from its home base at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona, and was really impressed with how it feels and flies, as well as the level of detail in Davis-Monthan's famous aircraft boneyard, a monstrous graveyard of decommissioned airplanes inside the base. Oh, and I may have inadvertently pumped my fist and said, yes! When they showed the C-17 Globemaster as one of the upcoming planes, but that can't be proven. Yes, it can. I just admitted to it. When I say everything has been improved upon, it doesn't really do justice to the scale at which Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 builds on its predecessor. The detail on the ground in any given area has increased 4,000 times over 2020. So snow, mud, and even grass will show wheel marks if you roll through it. We did see a brief glimpse of a bush plane with its oversized tires caked with mud, and that wasn't just for illustrative purposes. If you land in the mud, it's gonna stick, and it just might affect how your plane handles when you're back in the air. Another massive overhaul in 2024 is the physics system. To demonstrate, the team showed us the effects of rotor wash and wake turbulence. If you've ever wondered why planes don't just take off one right after another in rapid succession, wake turbulence is the answer. In Flight Sim 2024, every aircraft has a path of wake turbulence behind it, and the wake turbulence is affected by the weather conditions. At an airport with 2 runways parallel to one another, for example, a crosswind can actually push the turbulence from one runway to the other, and in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, that behavior is also present. The team has also integrated real-world ship tracking into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 using readily available transponder data, updated every 30 seconds. I took a flight around my home airport in Maine and had forgotten that a rather large cruise ship was anchored in the harbor nearest my house. But I remembered instantly once I saw it sitting in the exact location in the sim as it was in real life. Water physics have also been improved, which will affect takeoff and landing distances for seaplanes and other craft capable of landing in the water. The team doesn't yet have a solution to realistically pitch big ships, so you won't be able to practice your carrier landings in the FA-18 Hornet in pitching seas quite yet. But given how much and how often Flight Simulator is updated, I am sure it's just a matter of time. Meanwhile, every helipad on the planet, let me say that again, every helipad on planet Earth is now in Flight Simulator 2024. That is over 80,000, a number that includes all 941 offshore oil rigs. The team also created the first database to track every glider airport in the world. They also modeled over 1 million tall hazards, including radio towers and other obstructions, so keep an eye out. Head of Microsoft Flight Simulator Jorg Newman told me the goal is to get Flight Sim as real as Earth, and it goes even further than just making sure every hazard is expressed in-game. So, for example, people in the game will speak the language from their countries of origin. If you walk through the cabin of your simulated transatlantic flight from, let's say, Germany to the United States, you're gonna hear people speaking both German and English. Animals also have gotten a huge upgrade utilizing an open source animal tracking database to simulate population density and even movement from day to day. In other words, if there's a place with zebras on planet Earth, you're going to be able to find them in Flight Sim, and not just as a location in the UI like the current iteration. Even with all the upgrades to the graphics and physics, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 promises to be a lighter experience on your hard drive than Flight Sim 2020 currently is. If you've ever changed the drive location of Flight Sim or had to, re-download it, oh my God, you know the pain of pulling down hundreds of gigs of data. Thankfully, Flight Sim 2024 addresses these problems with cloud streaming. If you're not going to fly around the whole world, why do you need to download it all? Same with airplanes. If you tend to only fly one or two, there is no reason to have the entire fleet living on your drive. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 officially releases in November, and for me, a person who spent a lot of the pandemic and the years since obsessed with Flight Simulator and aviation as a whole, it cannot come soon enough. I am suitably impressed with what I saw. Everything good is better now, and everything new looks awesome and fun, and I cannot wait to build my fleet of world-dominating commercial aircraft, rescue hikers stranded on the side of mountains, and just, fly the same flight path off the coast of Maine I've flown a million times before. I am more excited about 2024 than I was about 2020, and that's from me, the guy who gave Flight Simulator 2020 a 10 out of 10 review score. So that's saying something. For more on Microsoft Flight Simulator, check out my 10 out of 10 review of Flight Simulator 2020, as well as the recent gameplay overview trailer. And for everything else in the world of gaming, put those seatbacks and tray tables up as we prepare to land at IGN.